Hi everybody, my name is P.A. Cook and today I'm going to expose you to the language problem in physics which has been holding the whole of humanity down a scientific dead end for over a century. It's a simple language problem, so no technical background needed at all. You can all understand it. So here I've laid out the laws of physics in a simple line diagram so you can see the problems that language causes. We know in physics, beyond all doubt, the mathematics is all correct to unprecedented accuracy. The science, the experiments is all correct to unprecedented accuracy. So there's only language problems left. And my goodness, do they catch us out. Now I used to prepare court cases and I used to go and look through the case and look for language problems. When you apply those techniques to physics, the problems jump out at you straight away. The first one, the biggest one, is the fact that gravity is isolated from everything else in physics by its cause of action. The language we use, the curvature of space-time. But there's something wrong with that. Sure, space does curve, but, and it's a big but, where's the cause of action for the curvature? You haven't mentioned it. And what about the curvature of matter? You haven't mentioned it. So you can see how misleading curvature of space-time is. So Einstein correctly said gravity is not a force. How can one planet apply a force to another planet without touching it? It can't. There are no connections between all the planets, just as there are no connections between the parts of an atom. So we need to rethink with the words fundamental forces and curvature of space-time, and we have to put together the Earth as a magnetic body with its magnetic field, with the Earth as a gravitational body and a gravitational field. And if we do that, maybe we can then connect the Earth as an electrical body and electrical field, and we've unified them all. We've unified James Clerk Maxwell with Einstein. So let's go back to gravity. And I'm just going to state the obvious. I'm going to tell you what gravity is. Einstein told you what it's not, a force, but he didn't tell you what it is. So it's very unfinished. Now, if physical matter and space can have a relationship, any relationship needs the exchange of information. It needs communication between the parts. So I'm going to say gravity is the exchange of information between physical matter and space, no forces. Bodies align with the density and direction of the field. So they align with the center of gravity. So there's a gravitational gradient heading towards the center of gravity, along which all matter will slide and align itself. And I can use that cause of action for a magnet and a magnetic field. Magnets do not attract and repel. If you put compasses around a bar magnet, the compass needles align with the direction and the density of the field, not the magnet. So when magnets click together in a line, they're aligning with the density of the field at the poles, not the magnet. No need for a physical force. We've done it. And I can use that language fix for the Earth as an electrical body and an electrical field. And I see two very important primordial patterns. I've got a little 1, 2, 3 pattern. 1 centre of gravity, 2 magnetic poles, 3 electrical vectors. What used to be called Fleming's right-hand rule. And there's another pattern. I've got a related pair of properties, magnetism and electricity, which generate each other, working in partnership with a unique partner, gravity. Now, that little pattern, a pair and a triplet, shows up right at the base of the universe where there's only protons in space, 2 up quarks and a down quark. That pattern comes from prime numbers, the building blocks of arithmetic, the atoms of arithmetic, as Marcus de Saussure calls them. And that pattern has been seen in every university department. But because they don't work together, it doesn't have any meaning, you just ignore it. But in the series of videos, we're going to use this pattern again and again and again, looking at every part of nature and showing it's always the same pattern. Even human behaviour. Wait for that one. So now we've got general relativity as complete, consistent, and not misleading information. We've got to do the big one. We've got to fit it together with quantum physics. And notice I didn't use the word quantum mechanics. You'll see why in the second video. Now, cause of action. Quantum physics, the exchange of bosons between fermions. Bosons are units of energy, little units of information. So the exchange of information puts together classical physics and quantum physics. And now I can rearrange the standard model of particle physics into pairs and triplets of properties, which you can see here, and include general relativity, now complete, into the model. I see a profound parallel between QED, quantum electrodynamics, and QCD, quantum chromodynamics. And that parallel has been noticed by Frank Close in his book The Cosmic Onion, page 105. But the way the standard model is currently arranged, you can't see any parallels. Now the model needs a bit of finishing, because the Higgs boson can't sit by itself if everything else in the model is paired off. And the photon. Now the photon's quite easy. Photon, the electron and the neutrino all sit together as the switching mechanisms that switch protons into neutrons and make deuterium 2, and then make tritium, which then makes a 2 and a 3 pattern, just as you want to see, which makes the first composite number 4 and the first composite element helium. Now, when you switch the proton into a neutron, it spits out a positron and neutrino, and then when you put protons and neutrons together to form tritium, it spits out photons. So those three all can sit together as switching mechanisms. Now, the Higgs boson. If we've got a Higgs mechanism for the property of mass, surely we need a Higgs mechanism for the properties of electrical charge and magnetic moments. Now, I'm not a particle physicist, so I don't know. Is it the photon? Or do we need to look for something completely different? New Higgs bosons, 2 of them. Well, that's up to you to decide. If you're a particle physicist, please help us out. Now, in the second video, we're going to lay out the laws of physics in a beautiful symmetrical pattern between what happens at the atomic scale, what happens at the classical scale, and we're going to base that pattern on my pairs and triplets, and you'll see the laws of physics become completely consistent information. Exactly what every good physicist knows has to happen. I'll see you in the second video.